They called her the Calm, a girl whose smile could halt tsunamis in their tracks and soothe the trembling earth. The world, in its desperation, had placed its survival on the shoulders of one young woman. Her name was Alara, though few knew it. To the billions she saved, she was simply a face on a screen, a living, breathing miracle broadcast from a sterile white room. It all started on the day the Great Quake was supposed to hit. Scientists had predicted it with terrifying accuracy. Cities were evacuated, a global state of emergency declared. Then, a news channel, scraping for a human interest story, found her. A girl in an orphanage, smiling amidst the panic, as her innocent grin spread across the screen. The seismographs went silent, the tremors stopped. It was dismissed as a coincidence, until it happened again. A hurricane, barreling towards a coastline, suddenly dissipated as footage of her laughing at a puppy was aired. And again, with a wildfire that turned back on itself when she was shown blowing out birthday candles. Coincidence became correlation, and correlation became undeniable truth. And so, the world's governments, in a rare moment of unity, took her. They built her a gilded cage. A room with no windows, painted in calming shades of beige and white. Her every need was met. Her every whim catered to. Toys, books, gourmet meals, anything to keep her happy. Because a happy Alara meant a stable world. A team of specialists, the best psychologists and behaviorists money could buy, became her keepers. They monitored her vitals, her brainwaves, her every fleeting emotion. Her face was a constant feed on every screen in the control room, a high-tech bunker where agents tracked global threats. When a volcano in Iceland would start to rumble, they wouldn't send geologists. They'd send a clown into Alara's room. When seismic activity sparked in the Pacific, they'd play her favorite cartoon. Her smile was the world's most powerful weapon, its most fragile shield. For years, this delicate balance held. Alara grew from a girl into a young woman within those four white walls. She knew her purpose, though she didn't understand the physics of it. She just knew that her happiness was important. She practiced smiling in the mirror, turning it into a reflex, a duty. She learned to suppress her sorrows, to bury her frustrations beneath layers of forced contentment. She watched movies, but only comedies. She listened to music, but only upbeat pop. The world, in its desperate need for her joy, had methodically stripped away her right to any other feeling. But you can't build a dam strong enough to hold back the ocean of human emotion forever. Alara was lonely. The friends they gave her were actors, paid to laugh at her jokes. The pets were rotated out before she could form a true bond. Her only constant companion was a small, scruffy dog she'd named Pip. He'd been a gift for her 16th birthday, a tiny, warm creature that didn't know or care about global stability. He just knew he loved her. He'd lick away the tears she wasn't allowed to cry, pressing his little body against hers in the dead of night when the weight of the world felt too heavy. The agents in the control room were wary of the attachment. A pet was a variable, a potential source of pain. But the joy Pip brought her was so potent, so genuine, that the global calm index had never been higher. So they allowed it, monitoring the dog almost as closely as they monitored her. One morning, Alara woke up and Pip wasn't in his usual spot at the foot of her bed. She called for him. Silence. A flicker of unease, a feeling she hadn't allowed herself to feel in years, sparked in her chest. The doctors came in, their faces grim. They spoke in soft, therapeutic tones about life cycles, about old age, about how Pip had passed away peacefully in his sleep. They were trying to manage her grief, to contain it. But they had underestimated the bond. They had underestimated a decade of suppressed sorrow, of loneliness and sacrifice, all channeled into one small, furry creature. Alara didn't scream. She didn't rage. She just looked at the empty space where Pip's bed used to be, and her carefully constructed mask began to crumble. In the control room, alarms blared. A 9.5 earthquake tore through the Andes. The sky above Tokyo cracked open like shattered glass, revealing a swirling vortex of color and chaos. A supervolcano, dormant for millennia, erupted in a plume of ash that blotted out the sun. The agents scrambled, but what could they do? Send in another clone. Her face was on every screen in the world. Not smiling, but contorted in silent and released agony. Her lower lip trembled. The world held its breath, begging her, pleading with her not to cry. A single tear welled in her eye, glistening like a tiny, perfect diamond of doom. As it traced a path down her cheek, the continents themselves began to groan. Oceans boiled. The very fabric of reality seemed to fray at the edges. The world wasn't just breaking, it was being unwritten. She could feel it. She could feel the planet's pain as if it were her own. The screams of billions echoed in her soul. She saw the faces of the people she was supposed to protect, twisted in terror. And in that moment, she made a choice. Her duty was not to be happy. Her duty was to save them. With a strength she didn't know she possessed, she drew a ragged breath. She thought of Pip, not his absence, but the memory of his warm weight in her lap. She thought of the joy he gave her, the pure, unconditional love. She dredged up every happy memory, every forced laugh, every practiced grin. She gathered all the light she had left inside her and pushed it outwards. Her lips curved upwards. It was a ghastly, heartbreaking smile, painted on a face ravaged by grief. It was the most difficult thing she had ever done. And the world responded. The earthquake subsided. The cracks in the sky sealed themselves. The oceans calmed. The world stabilized, settling back into a fragile peace. In her white room, Alara held that smile. It was her final gift, her ultimate sacrifice. But the effort was too great. Holding back the apocalypse with a smile while your heart was shattering was a paradox the universe could not sustain. As she smiled, she began to fade. Her form flickered, turning translucent. The agents in the control room watched, helpless, as their savior became a ghost. Her smile was the last thing to disappear. A lingering promise of calm in a world that had demanded everything from her, and to which she had given it all. The room was empty. The world was silent and safe, for now.